Welcome to Commodity Analysis on May the 1st, 2013, and this is 1 p.m. London time, Central European time 2 p.m. A free Emini S P outlook for today after yesterday's move up. Let's have a look. I just want to go and look at yesterday's move. We saw this. I want to show you. In fact, I want to draw first of all your attention to this horizontal thick black median line here. So it's a big boy, and it's drawn. I'm going to go up, and this will look like a bird's nest when I do it. If I go to the, don't worry about that, but you see which pivots it's drawn off. Late September there, the November low, and let's go to a more reasonable time frame. The previous high on the 11th of April. Okay, and that gives us this horizontal line. And yesterday we saw a failure. We peaked there just in the low 1590s, and then we were able to draw this superb fork. And if you ever want a better entry for a long position than this, as Dr. A said, if price does not make it to this center line here, it reverses and accelerates in the other direction. And that's exactly what happened. I guess once we were all clear what was going on yesterday, everyone jumped in here, this big bar here, and it was plain sailing. Again, you can see, just go down to the 15-minute and have a look at these horizontals, because they're incredibly important. There's the original touch yesterday late. I think that was in the Euro session, European trading session. Then after the opening, we spiked down quite violently to the low 80s, and then up we came. You can see this bar here, a touch, fall away. Support from this reaction line. You can see this can't be moved. If I refresh the chart, it goes back to there, and you can see this little dance here. Then a full support on this median line. In fact, this is you could look at that as an inverted head and shoulders. A bit of a drunk inverted head and shoulders, slightly intoxicated the way it's leaning, but no, that's a fair assessment of that pattern. Let's have a look there. One more try. Again, a fail. And then we make it through, and now this is support, and that's the reason I'm drawing your attention to it today, because I think we've still got further to go on the upside. Here, look, this is 5091. If we make it down here, and what we're going to do, we're going to go to another template now, and remember that's the 5091.50, so we'll just put a horizontal in here just so we all 5091.50. There you go. Well, that'll do. And you can see that is an area. We've got this cluster of reaction lines here. That's the 8 point. And I want to show you this because this fork here, okay, this fork here, all it's doing is expressing the relationship between this pivot, and this pivot. Okay, we haven't drawn in the what's called the BC line. So these are forks without a, you see this big violet one here we were talking about. That is missing its BC line, and that's purely because the indicator in MetaTrader doesn't draw them. It does in some charting platforms. But look at this. If we pop this here, which is the first pivot in this, let's look at this move up here. Okay, now we refresh the chart. If we can refresh the chart, here we go. And you'll see these are the reaction lines from this fork is called April. And here is the first reaction line. In fact, here is the first reaction line, which is a zoom through and a retouch. If we go down, you'll see a zoom through. See, it says April, can't be moved. As you can see, it's dependent on these pivots. If we can get it to refresh again. It's very quiet today because obviously it's a holiday. There you are. So you've got a retouch, zoom through, a retouch, and then up. And you'll always, this is the optimum entry area here, and that is where you put your stop, because you'll see it time and time again. Now, here, next April reaction line, up through this median line, touch at the confluence, fall away. This is overnight, very shallow, very shallow retracement. Support on this pitchfork line here, and then again up, two touches on this. This white, I've just drawn it in. It's what I call a local median line, and it's going to tell us about price. Has price touched that? Let's have a look in the 1 minute. Probably not. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's well drawn. That's pretty accurate. doesn't look. I think it's going to basically indicate to us that price it wants to go higher. So here we go back to the 15-minute, and you can see I've just drawn over that reaction line there, F. But I want to show you. So let's go to this pivot and express the relationship. Refresh there. A zoom through. Possibly not a retouch. So maybe some other support that's missing that's showing on another template. Let's go down to this one here. April, and there it is. Shows you this is what happened this morning in London. You can see it more clearly if you see. This is why let's use this, go over them, because they actually changed their, obviously in a lower time frame they are going to have a shallower angle. There you are, that's the one I've just manually inserted. This is the true location in the 5-minute, and there we see a second retouch. So there you go, all together there, and two separate lines with two separate reactions there, and that's dealt with in the course, and those are mirror lines, okay, in exactly the same way that a pitchfork has two tines, outer tines, as a center line and two outer tines. The same goes for the reaction lines, but I'm not going to get into that now. It's just going to confuse you. But anyway, here we are, caught up in this little nest of downsloping reaction lines. Price still looks quite healthy. We've got this support here. No one's suggesting anyone should pop in at this area. Even if we go higher, it's just a crazy entry for me anyway. I have a zero tolerance for loss. So you can see here. Let's just have a look at F and draw this in the. Let's have a look there. Let's have a look at this boy. Come on, there we go. Spot on, spot on. Okay, so we've got a retouch on there. Let's see how it goes. We've got some employment data coming out. Let's just have a look at one more, a couple more of these templates. There's yesterday's move again. Touch, second touch, fall away, and then once we'd established, and which reaction line? We've got a cluster again, a cluster of reaction lines here. 19. Now these are all labelled 20 and 19. And now we're moving. Okay, I think we've got employment data just coming out. But anyway, look, we'll be back after the first few hours of trading today. Expect a light day. We may see some sideways or downside. Tomorrow is Thursday, and then we've got Friday. So expect to see the big 1600 challenged at some point, and we'll be back later. Bye now.